Hello, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Jess.
She's the traumatized.
And she's the abandoned.
And
welcome to our podcast.
Where we talk about true crime, spooky things, and everything in between.
And today, we are talking about some cryptids and urban legends. Let's go. Oh,
I don't know how to do a creepy theme song.
Oh, I like that. No. Remember that. That's going to be a thing now.
Oh, God.
Okay.
No.
That's how we got our fun fact of the day. It just started. I feel like you need to go with those instincts, though, because they're so good. And, like, you just need to have that happen. If you see me looking up to that area, I'm on Bee Watch 2024. I've trapped a bee behind my blinds, in between the window and the blinds.
Because she will not get rid of it.
I do not. Okay, first of all, bees
Are you allergic?
No, but bees are helpful. Okay.
That's why I said get a glass. You put the glass over
that
and get a
means I
paper,
have to
sign
get
it
close
underneath.
to it.
Yes.
Or
it's close to you now.
Yeah, but I can't see it.
But you can hear it.
Not with my headphones on. I just see like a shadow every once in a while, like it's hunting me. So if you see me look up, It's been really quiet recently, so I'm hoping it escaped back out the window, the hole in the window that it came from, because I have no idea how it got in here. It's not just a normal bee either. It's like this big. Scared the hell out of me while we were getting ready. When I tell you, when it came through the window, I was at the door. Like, I was like, goodbye. Yeeted myself. Anyway, how's your week going?
It's going great. Somebody is getting very wiggly and moving more and more.
Love that.
She'll probably be crawling soon. She's definitely trying.
Aww.
Definitely trying.
Yeah. I know. I told her you should do the intro for us. She didn't want that to be a thing.
She really had a lot to say today.
I love it.
She's growing so fast and just...
Oh my God, so fast.
That's crazy. Beanie starts his kind of like last month of school.
Also crazy.
Because they learned their letters this year. They're doing something that's kind of cool I've never seen before. But each day from here on to the end of school is a different letter.
Okay.
So today was A, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got to bring a stuffed animal to school. And then tomorrow's blue, so they get to wear blue.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
It's
just
that
like different things. Like there's, I think, F food day, wear your favorite food or something, just like your favorite food. Just like random little things.
I like that a lot, though. Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Other than that, that's pretty much it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Because you guys are moving once he's done with school, right? So that's like a...
Yeah. I tried to get a box packed. Was it Sunday? I just couldn't, between the kids and the husband, and it didn't happen. Because I was hoping to get my closet packed up, like leave just the essentials out. But it didn't happen.
There's always tomorrow.
I got some of it because there's not much in the cat closet, but there is like the top shelf that I was trying to organize and stuff. And get all of our important papers together. I got one of those file thingies.
Oh, okay. Like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I can have all of our important documents together.
Some sort of folder. Yeah.
It's like a file folder. Or
yeah.
It's not a binder, but like accordion folder. Accordion, is that what it's
might
called?
Be it. That might be it. It has like a little hook thing and you unhook it and everything. Like, yeah.
Yeah. All right. How was your week?
The bee is back.
Oh my God.
I thought you left.
Cancel this episode. We're just gonna call it The Adventures of Jess and the Bee.
What urban legends? There's a massive bee in the office.
There once was a girl who made a podcast alone.
Or
so she thought.
Dun, dun, dun.
Buzz, buzz.
It is so big, so you can hear it hitting the freaking blinds. Like, no, today's been very taxing for me because not only is there a bee, there have been intruders. There has been There's been delivery people giving me food I didn't order. It's been very
chaotic.
traumatizing.
Oh my goodness.
My week was good. My week was good.
Okay.
No, I'm finally back on a normal schedule.
Right. You were struggling with that for a bit.
Struggling. Yeah. So we're back on a normal schedule. Took the weekend, did nothing. It was really hard because family wanted a family. No, it's just like, not this weekend. Took some time for myself, which is great. This weekend is also going to be super chill, because the following weekend we're having our burial. Yeah, the burial for my grandmother.
So I wish you all the best luck with that.
I am already starting to dream about it. I'm already having anxiety regarding it because my family's not in the best state. Just to kind of recap, my aunt and I aren't on the best terms. I think we're communicating. Well, we haven't communicated in a while, but we're talking. We're not talking. I don't know.
You're not talking.
But we're not like not talking. We're just not talking. You know what I mean?
No, you're not talking. You said you haven't talked to her months. That means you're not talking.
But we're not like, I don't know. Anyway, so your mom
issues are not resolved with each other. It seems like you're just ignoring it for the time being.
Yeah, that's fair. My mom and my brother are not getting along. My mom and my aunt, they don't talk. My mom and my grandfather are finally talking.
There seems like a common denominator here.
Well, enter in my other brother who is talking to everybody, and then I am like decently talking to my mom. I'm okay with my grandfather. It's just awkward, and then I'm not really talking to my aunt. I think that's it. And we're all getting together to finally bury my grandmother, and it's been over a year, and I feel like it's just not even.
Everybody will just have to be over themselves for one day. That's all it takes. Just get over yourself for one day. Put all your shit aside. This is about your grandmother. I feel like you might have to say that to your mom a few times.
Yeah, this is about like mourning my grandmother, but like it's at this point it's been over a year.
Yeah.
Anyway,
like my eye is twitching for you, I think.
Yeah, no, it's so bad. But yeah, that's my week and upcoming weeks. Really trying to focus on self-care, get my sleep schedule, vitamins, all that good stuff. So
yeah.
All right, fun fact of the day.
Fun fact of the day.
Fun fact of the day. Did you know that Lego bricks can actually withstand compression better than concrete?
That's crazy.
Why you step on a Lego?
I have too much experience with that.
Sorry, this might be triggering. An ordinary plastic Lego brick is able to support the weight of 375,000 other bricks before it fails. So it could literally, if you stacked it up, theoretically, it would let you build a tower nearing 3.5 kilometers in height before it broke. That's how strong it is.
Crazy.
Now scaling this to a house-sized brick, however, would cost way too much. So they just do that. But like comparatively, yeah, it's a lot stronger than a concrete.
But
concrete's a lot cheaper to build, basically, is what it is.
Oh, but there's so many Legos.
Okay, but try to build a house out of them.
But okay,
so tiny.
I guess.
You know what I mean? It would not be cost efficient.
But what if you made bigger ones?
You'd have to scale them. I wonder how much plastic that would use. Maybe this could be how we get rid of all the
how do
plastic.
You recycle plastic?
Are we gonna make a Lego house? Is this gonna happen?
Lego house.
Anyway, so yeah, that's the fun fact of the day. Interesting.
Also, very interesting.
Probably why it hurts like a fucking bitch when you step on one, because it doesn't break.
Yup.
Goes right into your soul.
But what's crazy is you can chew on them, and you can make dents on them when you chew on them.
How do you know this?
What kid doesn't put shit in their mouth?
I was just hoping it wasn't you chewing on them. What do you need to tell me?
Well, because sometimes you can't get them apart, so you gotta, you know?
Nope. I always just use my nails.
One day you'll do. One day you'll know. Fair. When you don't have nails.
I just don't have nails. I'm not able to go get my nails done because I have children crawling all over me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm so torn. Like, I really do want kids. I think I would be a great mom. But also, I really like sleeping until 11 and doing whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
I just need it. Yeah. Well, I got some time. So, anyway.
Like the husband always says, it's an 18-year commitment.
Really longer than that. Like, then they're still yours. You're just not responsible for them.
For the most part, yeah.
Okay, what are you doing today with the urban legends or cryptid?
I'm doing an urban legend, and maybe I should just jump into it.
Okay. I like it.
A teenage boy drove his date to a dark and deserted lover's lane for a makeout session.
Oh.
He turned on the radio for mood music, leaned over to whisper in the girl's ear, and began kissing her. Minutes later, the mood was broken when the music suddenly stopped mid-song. After a moment of silence, an announcer's voice came on, warning in an ominous tone that a convicted murderer had just escaped from the state insane asylum.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Which happened to be located within half a mile of where they were parked.
Okay, let's leave then. That's instant. Okay, get the fuck out.
The urging that anyone who notices a man wearing a stainless steel hook in the place of his missing right hand should immediately report his whereabouts to the police.
You know, you'd think that in the insane asylum they would remove the hook.
Yeah, let's not poke holes yet. Okay,
sorry. Oh, hey, no, that's not fair. You instantly started poking holes in my siren head. This is fucking payback.
Okay, but siren head, come on, 65 feet? 65 feet up?
Fucking rude.
I mean, I was having the same thought, but continuing. The girl became frightened and asked to be taken home. The boy, feeling bold, locked all the doors instead and, assuring his date that they would be safe, attempted to kiss her again. She became frantic and pushed him away, insisting that they leave. Relenting, the boy peevishly jerked the car into gear and spun its wheels as he pulled out of the parking space. When they arrived at the girl's house, she got out of the car and, reaching to close the door, began to scream uncontrollably. The boy ran to her side to see what was wrong, and there, dangling from the door handle, was a bloody hook.
So he was like there?
So he was there.
Ooh, creepy.
Dun,
okay.
dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
So if you haven't guessed already, or if you've never heard of this urban legend, I'm talking about the Hookman, otherwise known as just the Hook.
Okay. What's really funny is I looked at doing this.
You what?
I looked at doing this.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Funny.
Yeah.
The Hook or the Hookman is an urban legend about a killer with a pirate-like hook for a hand attacking a couple in a parked car. The story is thought to date from at least the mid-1950s.
Okay.
The basic premise involves a young couple cuddling in a car with their radio playing when suddenly a news bulletin reports that a serial killer has just escaped a nearby institution. The killer has a hook for a hand for varying reasons. The couple decide to leave quickly. In the end, the killer's hook is either found hanging from the door handle or embedded into the door itself.
Okay.
Different variations include a scraping sound on the car door. Some versions start the same way but have the couple spotting the killer, warning others, and then narrowly escaping with the killer holding onto the car's roof.
Okay.
Another version, the woman sees a shadowy figure watching the couple from nearby. The man leaves to confront the figure, then suddenly disappears. Thinking that his date just imagined it, the man returns to the car only to see that the woman has been brutally murdered with the hook.
I think that's the one I've heard before. The guy got out and checked, and then
In an alternate version, the couple drive through an unknown part of the country late at night, stop in the middle of the woods because either the man has to relieve himself or the car breaks down and the man leaves for help. While waiting for him to return, the woman turns on the radio, hears about the report, blah, blah, blah. She is then disturbed many times by a thumping on the roof of the car. She eventually exits and sees the escape patient sitting on the roof, banging the man's severed head on it. And those are just a couple of the very different, many different variations of the story.
Gotcha. Okay.
So the origins of the Hook legend are not entirely known, though according to folklorist and historian Jan Harold Bronvand, the story began to circulate sometime in the 1950s in the United States.
Okay.
According to Bronvand, in The Vanishing Hitchhiker, American Urban Legends and Their Meanings, the story had become widespread amongst American teenagers by 1959 and continued to expand into the 1960s. So it was in a book, and then from there it kind of just took off amongst the teenagers.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Some have speculated that the legend might have roots in real-life Lovers Lane murders, such as the 1946 Texarkana Moonlight murders, which I think I talk about a little bit later. But the first known publication of the story occurred on November 8th, 1960, when a reader letter telling the story was reprinted in Dear Abby, which was a popular advice column.
Okay.
And that letter goes, Dear Abby, if you are interested in teenagers, you will print this story. I don't know whether it's true or not, but it doesn't matter because it served its purpose for me. A fellow and his date pulled into their favorite Lover's Lane to listen to the radio and do a little necking. The music was interrupted by an announcer who said there was an escaped convict in the area who had served time for rape and robbery.
Oh.
He was described as having a hook instead of a right hand. The couple became frightened and drove away. When the boy took his girl home, he went around to open the car door and he saw a hook on the door handle. I will never park to make out as long as I live. I hope this does the same for other kids. Jeanette. Swedish folklorist. I do not know how to say this. I'm going to try my best. Ben F. Klintberg? Or is it Bent? It's B-E-N-G-T. How would you say that? Bent?
B-E-N-G-T? Begint?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
So anyways, the Swedish folklorist explains that this story is an example of a conflict between representatives of normal people who follow the rules of society and those who are not normal who deviate and threaten the normal group. Okay. Clearly, the hook hand clitter is the deviant here in most iterations of this legend. The couple is also engaging in deviant behavior. While it should come as a shock to no one that the teens often engage in physical displays of affection up to and including premarital sex. This tale is normally used as a warning sign against such a thing. Okay. So instead of, you're going to hell, people would tell their kids,
Hookman's gonna get
you.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then folklorist Bill Ellis interprets the killer as a moral custodian who interrupts the sexual exploits of the young couple. So basically, they're all saying the message is the same thing.
Okay.
Believing that the hand being replaced by a hook represents his own lack of sexuality, and the threat of the hook man is not the normal sex drive of teenagers, but the abnormal drive of some adults to keep them apart. This would also explain why he would be hanging out at Lover's Lane, where that kind of behavior from teens is expected. So a little bit different there.
Interesting. Yeah.
By 1960, this urban legend and its variants were already well worn and starting to work their way away from the campfire and into pop culture. The Hookman would be represented in many ways in many TV shows. There's a long ass list of TV shows and movies, including one of my all-time favorite movies. Not all-time, but it's in my top 10 favorite movies. The 1987 Adventures in Babysitting.
Yep.
Which has a scene where a group of teens / kids car breaks down with a flat tire. They are approached and clearly afraid of a man who stops to help and has a hook for a hand. But he is just a nice tow truck driver who offers to tow their car for free. And this is just one of the few iterations where the hook-handed man is harmless and definitely a must-watch. If you haven't seen, see.
Yes, she made me watch it. It is really good.
Only if you like 80s movies, though. If you're not an 80s movie kind of person, it's maybe not for you.
No.
But it's really good.
It's
so you
cute.
should try.
It's really cute.
And don't watch the Disney remake. Thank you. Okay. And the Hookman was also a focal point in an episode of Supernatural, which is where I got this idea from. So all the way back in season 1, episode 7, it's where Sam and Dean investigate an age-old urban legend known as the Hookman, the spirit of a 19th century pastor with a twisted sense of morals that is unknowingly being used in an innocent girl's attack dog. So
interesting.
That's the story of the Hookman, and you can probably find many other examples.
Variations of it.
Yep, variations of it all over pop culture. And yes, so beware to all of you who go to lovers lanes, because the Hookman may be on the
get
prowl. But also my question, do people still do that? Are you guys still going to lovers lanes?
That's true.
Is that still a thing?
Oh God, are we that old? Is that not a thing anymore?
I don't know.
What do you do?
Is that a thing?
I feel like that has to be still
I don't think our audience is also the audience to answer that question, but like, true. I kind of want to know, is that still a thing? Is there a lovers lane where you live?
I have no idea.
Let us know. I don't think there was ever a lovers lane where I'm from, but also I did not socialize in high school, so I have no idea.
There's a place up on the Parkway that is interesting because I recently went up there to like watch a sunset, and there were 2 other couples. I guess that would be but they were my age. So like, is that just a thing that we do? Like, is that? I don't know.
Have you ever been to a lovers lane?
My mom doesn't watch this. Yes, of course.
Yes, of course.
I did socialize in high school. And a couple different times. All right, so you ready for mine?
Yes.
Have you heard of the Kelly Hopkinsville encounter?
No.
It's interesting because it's in Kentucky.
Interesting. I'm not from Kentucky. I've just lived here for 2 years.
Okay, well, 2 years. I'm just kidding. Okay, no, that's true. That's true. Okay, so I'm gonna start out very similar to you and just like go right in with the story.
Right. Got it.
Buckle up.
Buckled.
Okay. You're gonna fucking laugh through this one. I know it.
I'll try not to.
On the evening of Sunday.
Nothing will ever get me as bad as 65 feet tall.
It's not funny. It's scary.
It's so funny because you're like imagine yourself walking through the woods. All of a sudden, you see. I don't even know what you said, but all I heard was 65 feet tall, and instantly I went, "What? What do you mean?"
No, because I was like, "You see his face? It's 65 feet in the air, or something like that." And you were like, "How the fuck do you even see its face? It's so tall." I'm like,
I think if you would have put it from a distance, then it would make sense. But you're like walking through a woods and you look at its face 65 feet up, and I'm like, what? What do you mean?
I didn't write that story, okay?
Sorry.
Still very upsetting to me because I just wanted to scare you, and you were like, I'm not being scared today.
We really need to figure out which episode that was. Y'all should go go watch that one.
Go watch my heart get broken because I was very excited to scare her, and she just did not. She just literally laughed the entire time.
Dude, you have to remember, I laugh at scary movies.
You do. No, I know. And that's part of the reason why I love you, and I love watching scary movies with you. Mind control game, arcade game, and creepy siren heads.
Yeah.
Guys, so it's number 6 if you go to our podcast on
Episode
YouTube.
6.
No. It's 6 in there. We don't number our podcasts.
Oh.
Also, fun fact, that is when you announced your pregnancy, when someone had commented, congratulations on your pregnancy.
Is that video? Aww.
We got this. All right.
Yes.
On the evening of Sunday, August 21st, 1955, Elmer Lucky Sutton, a young man in his early 20s, was visiting his mom, Glennie Langford, and 3 younger half-siblings at a farmhouse he'd grown up in. And this was 8 miles north of Hopkinsville.
Okay.
On break from his job with a traveling carnival, Lucky had his wife, Vera, and their friends, Billy Ray and June Taylor, with him for the weekend. So there's just a lot of people there.
Okay.
His brother, JC, and his sister-in-law, Elaine, plus a family friend, OP, was also there that night. Like, we should have a drawing sketch of all the people.
Yeah. Do I need to be writing these names down?
Lucky's important. His wife, Vera. Take notes, guys. There's going to be a quiz. Following a hearty supper prepared by Miss Glennie, the party of 11 had settled in for a card game when Billy Ray made an outlandish claim.
Okay.
Walking back into the house from a trip to the well to refill his water glass, which, not imagine.
Why wouldn't you just have a pitcher inside? Why are you refilling individual water glasses?
Yeah, that's kind of selfish, Billy Ray. He blurted out that he had just seen a round metallic object with a rainbow-colored streaks trailing behind it, moving through the sky above the farm.
Was it Neon Cat? I was afraid you wouldn't know what that was.
What do you mean? How do you not know what that is?
I don't know. Some people don't know the old YouTube stuffs.
I was sheltered. I wasn't that sheltered. Okay, so his companions took it as a prank at first, obviously writing it off as another one of the tricks Billy Ray and Lucky like to play on each other because, that's how they are.
Okay, they were pranksters.
Oh, yeah. But Billy Ray seemed, obviously, they're in the middle of nowhere. Like you said, you get bored. So what do you do?
Drink.
Yep. Billy Ray seemed genuinely bothered by whatever he'd seen, despite the others' insistence that it was probably a meteor or a shooting star. Like, dude, what the hell is going on? When he asked his wife, June, for reassurance that she at least believed him, the absurdity of all of it sent her and the others into a fit of laughter. So, imagine he busted. Everyone's like, oh, stop, you're joking around. And, come on, you believe me, right? She just bursts out laughing. Everyone starts laughing. Like, they think it's an actual joke. So, unwilling to let it go, Billy Ray grabbed Lucky and they went to walk out to the well with him so he could point out exactly where the object had gone across the sky.
Okay.
Lucky didn't know exactly what to make of their friend's story, but it was clear that something had actually scared him, so they went out to check it out. They went to the well, saw nothing. They were headed back to resume their game when something stopped them in their tracks. They claimed a glowing object approached from the woods from behind the house. As it got closer, they realized it was a short, human-like creature with large eyes and two legs that seemed to rather float rather than walk, and the two arms raised as if to surrender.
And it was glowing?
Had a glowing aura.
Okay.
Lucky yelled at explicitive, and the two men ran inside, slamming the door behind them.
Okay.
The fuck is that? And then they ran off.
Right.
So around the same time, a neighbor about a quarter of a mile north of them noticed lights in the woods behind the Sutton farm and figured the family was out searching for one of their animals that had escaped or gotten out. They saw lights in the woods behind the Sutton's farm.
Okay.
Later, the same neighbor would hear gunshots. He imagined they were dealing with some sort of bobcat preying on the livestock. So go back to the guys running into the house, freaking out. Now, Glennie didn't understand what the commotion was about. She had lived on the property for decades, never experienced anything even remotely strange, so didn't really want the talk of Lucky's outer worldly goblins, which is what he's calling them at this point. You can laugh. It's funny. Upsetting the younger siblings, so she sent them all to bed. So she sent the kids to bed. Next thing she knew, the guys were now standing at guard at the doors, Lucky at the front with a 12 gauge and Billy Ray at the back with a 22. So now they are guarding the
full on
freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
At this point, she's like, I can't believe how willing they were to play a prank. I'm not gonna be scared of my own house. You guys, fuck off.
Right.
Stop. Enough's enough.
Right. Too far.
But once Lucky's mind was set on something, there wasn't any convincing him otherwise. And obviously his mom knew this. So she just tried to get answers from his friend who has seen it, try to figure out what was actually going on. Her initial thought was maybe the two guys were just playing jokes on their wives. So she saddled up to Billy Ray by the back door, was like, what's going on? Is this a joke? Let me in on it. I'll play along. You know what I mean? But I need to know what's going on. His response was, Miss Glennie, I hope you don't ever have to find out.
What?
So they were sitting silently waiting while everyone else except for obviously Lucky and the children talked in the living room when a figure about 3 feet tall appeared in the doorway out of the darkness.
Why is their door open?
Because they were standing guard at it.
They can't stand guard with the door closed?
Yeah, but then you can't shoot out
inside. But I can't get in if the door's closed.
That's like saying monsters can't get you while you're hiding under a blanket, Nikki. That's not how that works.
No, that is exactly how it works. There is a door, there's a lock, there's a barrier. It cannot get in.
If it's a fucking alien, it's going to zap its way into your house whether the door's shut or open or closed. Wait,
how does it zap? Does it have electrical powers now?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think the door being opened or closed is going to keep whatever wants to get in out. Okay, I don't think that's how that works.
Why have it open? Why not have it closed and then it's an extra layer? Because
at least you can see what's about to come at you.
You can see it when it opens the door.
You're assuming it's just going to knock and open the door. No. What if it blasts the door open, knocks you over, and now it's in the house anyway?
Well, that's a warning sign. At least it's not just going to pop up out of nowhere in your door frame. screamed.
Well, back to the story. Glennie screamed, and so everyone came running, right? Billy Ray shot at the would-be intruder, piercing a hole through the screen door. Okay, so there was a screen door.
Okay.
There was some sort of barrier. Okay, there we go. And then, spurred by curiosity, he followed it, stepped out into the porch.
Idiot.
As he did, he said he saw a clawed hand reach down from the roof and tried to grab at his like hair or something like that.
So it made itself onto the roof?
Mm-hmm. So it jumped onto the roof. It was like...
I'm trying so hard right now. Continue.
Not knowing the creature's intent, Aileen grabbed Billy Ray and yanked him back into the house. Lucky stepped outside, aiming his gun at the roof. The creature at this point rolled off the roof and then ran into the woods, apparently uninjured.
Okay.
So all this happened in the back door, in the kitchen. In the living room, a pair of glowing eyes instead of talons appeared at the window. At this point, everyone's freaked out. They all grab their guns because it's the South and everybody has guns.
Fest. Okay.
JC now shot through the glass with a 12-gauge shotgun. Close behind, Billy Ray followed up with another bullet. The struck creature then took off running. Glennie, who is a religious woman who had just been at church the other day, just dropped to her knees and started praying. Her thought when she was asked is that these glowing-eyed creatures on her lawn was sent to them from the devil.
Of course.
The gunfire had stirred her youngest kids from their sleep, and now they're like coming downstairs like, what the hell is going on? Why are there all those shots going on? Lucky urged the women to take the children to the back room and hide. Everyone but Glennie obeyed. She was so stunned that she'd actually seen. She was like still questioning herself whether she saw it, so she wanted to stay in. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Now, Lucky and Billy Ray surveyed the front yard while JC, OP, and Glennie waited inside. And JC was at the ready with a gun. So now the two are going out, trying to figure out
outside. Like rule number 1, right?
Yeah, stay
Don't go outside. Yeah.
At this point, someone yelled to look up into the nearby maple tree. This time, everyone could clearly see one of the little men perched on a branch above them. They shot at it, but instead of it falling, the being started to float away. The noise they heard when they fired at another one coming around a corner sounded like bullets hitting metal. Once it was hit, it also started to float away, and at this point they realized their gunfire was just completely useless. It wasn't doing anything, so then the men retreated. Back in the house, the group tried to collect their thoughts. There are so many questions going on. Like, what are these things? Are they goblins? Are they demons? Did they raise their arms to indicate the innocent intent? If they didn't mean to harm any of the home's occupants, why did they keep coming back after being shot at? Like, what is going on?
Right.
Bullets may not have scared the intruders, but someone pointed out that bright lights seemed to hurt like their eye because they had really large yellow pupiled eyes.
Okay.
Whenever a light would turn on, the beings would like start to back away. So at this point, they turned on every light in the house and waited outside. It was eerily silent. One of the children began to cry. Lucky was trying to think of what to do next when they heard scratching coming from the roof. So he darted outside, pointed his gun at the top of the house, and fired at the creature there. The being floated down and scrambled out of sight beyond the trees, seemingly unharmed like the others. It was becoming abundantly clear that these goblins could not be deterred, at least by any means an ordinary farm family had at their disposal, so it was time to get out of there. When the coast was clear, everybody made a break for the trucks, piling in as fast as they could.
What would you do in that situation?
I have no fucking clue. The sergeant who was working the front desk at the Hopkinsville police station didn't know what to say when the 11 people came into the police station a little bit before midnight.
I can just picture it. The dude's like late at night. Everybody's out probably patrolling. He's just sitting there chilling with his coffee. It's a nice evening, quiet. All of a sudden, like 11 people like
stormed the building. Like, oh my God, what? What do you mean?
I feel like this guy's reaction was probably like, great. Paperwork.
Damn it, now I have to fill out all this paperwork. All right. One of the family members stated that they had been fighting little silver men for hours.
little silver men.
Now, the officer may not have believed that, but it was obvious something had frightened all of them. They had the children there.
Yeah.
It was too much for it to be a fucking joke. Like dragged all of their children out. Like they were scared. Right. The officer phoned Chief Russell Greenwell, who in turn radioed Kentucky State Police, the Christian County Sheriff's Office, and Fort Campbell Army Base, which dispatched its own personal police personnel.
Where's Fort Campbell?
I don't know.
I'm wondering, are they in the Appalachians?
Maybe.
Are they in the...
They might be.
Appalachians, the eastern part of the...
Because there's a lot of woods and stuff, so that is very true.
Fort Campbell is like right above Nashville, like northwest of Nashville.
Interesting.
Like on the border of Tennessee.
So wait, this was...
What'd you say? Hopkinsville?
Hopkinsville.
Yeah. So it doesn't look like mountains. It must be forest. Okay, so not Appalachia.
No, not Appalachia.
Interesting.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The more you know. Now,
so they got like 4 different police jurisdictions people
involved,
going out there.
Yeah, and like what the fuck is actually happening. The local paper got wind of it and sent a photographer, and within an hour, at least half a dozen law enforcement and media members had converged on the Sutton farm along with the returning family.
In the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night. We're talking like now I think it's like closer to like midnight or 1.
Mm-hmm.
Authorities searched the properties with flashlights but found no signs of the little men, only holes in window screens and plenty of shotgun shell casings.
Makes sense.
One officer did notice something glowing in the woods, but a search returned nothing. So they're like, okay, maybe it was just like animal eyes, because animal eyes can glow when they're hit with light.
Yes, absolutely.
The ground beneath where Lucky had shot one of the alleged beings appeared to have been stained with something that gave off like an iridescent sheen when viewed from a certain angle. They were thinking like maybe almost like what oil does.
Right.
Now, officers questioned the family members separately, but they all got the same consistent description of the night's events. After hours of fruitless investigation, the police finally were like, fuck this, and they left.
Right.
So, at 3:30 in the morning, after a fitful nap, she never really entered that deep sleep state, Glennie awoke to the sight of one of the little men on the other side of her bedroom window.
Okay.
She called out to Lucky, who was dozing on the couch in the living room. He and Billy Ray spent the next couple hours watching guard with their guns.
I mean, at this point, salt. We're salting all the windows, all the doorways. Let's get a pentagram down on the ground, call in the supernatural boys and be like, we got some aliens over here. We need help. We need some help real quick.
So you think salt and pentagrams help with aliens?
I'd be trying anything at this point. Holy water.
That's true.
Holy water, salt.
Now, they stated that the creatures left just before daybreak, and that was the last the family would ever see.
But they never entered the house, right? Maybe they're vampires. Maybe they
have to be invited in. So on Sunday afternoon, 14 years later.
14 years later. So they had no other incident.
Nope. Geraldine Sutton, who was now 8, was watching TV with her brother and sister when a man and woman knocked at the front door. Geraldine answered. The couple, they looked like they had just come from church. They wanted to know if her parents were home. Once Lucky, who emerged from the back room, came to speak with the couple and realized what they wanted, he figured out it was time to let the kids in on what had actually happened, like to the event. So their guests were actually writing a book about UFO sightings and wanted him to contribute his own experience. This was the first their kids had ever heard of their father's extraterrestrial encounter. So this had come out recently. So my daddy didn't like how people had treated him once the story got out, says Geraldine, who now goes by her married name Stealth. People made fun of him. It was traumatizing. And still to this day, the witnesses who were alive are still afraid to talk about it. So in the days that followed the 1955 incident, dozens of UFO fanatics converged on the small farm, hoping to get a peek at any possible evidence left behind by the so-called men from outer space. There were so many reporters and looky-loos coming by and walking around the property, taking things and calling them souvenirs, says Smithy, a chairperson of the festival dedicated to all things Little Green Men. The family got sick of being harassed, called liars. They left within 10 days. So literally the majority of the family just ended up leaving the fucking farm because people were so
kind of sad.
It's really sad.
Because people have no boundaries.
Respect.
Like, that's so crazy. crazy. Like when people go to Hawaii and they sit on the rocks and like take rocks that they're not supposed to, like so disrespectful. Like I want to visit Hawaii, but also at the same time, like I don't, because like the natives get so mad about it. You just gotta
be respectful of it, because it's also a majority of their income is tourist based.
That's why I'm so like, why?
So it's like so here's the thing: just go to the places that are tourist based, and if you end up going somewhere else, just make sure that you're respectful about it.
Yeah,
like learn about their culture. Don't be a dick. It's like visiting anywhere. You wouldn't question going to like Spain, you know, to visit, but you're respectful of their culture when you go over there. So it's kind of like, I view it like the same thing.
That's true.
Okay, so sis grandmother Glennie, now we're going back to Glennie, a widow in her early 50s who had always lived in the country, was so shaken up by the encounter that she sold the farmhouse and moved into an apartment in town. She always said she felt safer around other people. So whatever had happened that night had also affected her uncle JC too. She stated that he could not hold up a job anymore. It psychologically messed with him so bad. This encounter fucked with this family so hard they actually had to change their entire lives.
Interesting.
Now theories started to emerge about the Suttons' claims. During subsequent investigations, the family members were questioned separately, each describing the evening's events and the creature's physical appearance. Something that was very consistent: 3 to 4 feet tall with muscular upper bodies and atrophied legs, large glowing eyes, and pointy ears. Now, different artists rendered similar sketches based upon their individual descriptions. And yet, Dr. J. Allen Hynek, an astronomer and UFO researcher highly regarded for his work with the U.S. Air Force, called the Kelly Hopkinsville case preposterous and offensive to common sense, according to the 2008's A World of UFOs. So, now skeptics said the little men were actually monkeys Billy Ray and Lucky had brought back from the carnival, while others thought the family had mistaken great horned owls for aliens. And you can kind of see why they would float away. They were flying if they were owls, you know? Maybe.
Yeah.
Kentucky moonshine was also blamed, even though authorities found none on the premises, but they were like, yo. Now, according to Smithy, they all laughed at that because she didn't allow alcohol or even cursing on the property. So grandma did not allow that shit on the property. So obviously they weren't drinking apparently, but some people think they were. They were a very quiet and trustworthy family.
The creatures never made a sound?
I don't think so. Not in the story. During the summer of 1969, after the UFO writers came calling, Lucky brought Geraldine and her siblings back to his childhood home to show them where one of his life's pivotal moments had taken place. Long since abandoned, the property still held the well, plus a strange circular impression on the ground where Lucky thought the spacecraft may have landed that night.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. That's okay. You can laugh at any of this. It was the serious part was at the beginning. We're fine now.
Okay.
In 2005, Stith was invited to speak on a panel at an event commemorating the 50th anniversary of the sighting. What she found were dozens of people who were fascinated by the encounter but had all the facts wrong. So the information had been so misconstrued over the decades that sources were misquoting the witnesses' names and claiming that the 12 alien beings instead of the 3 or 4 the family had estimated. So like, it was the family of 12, not 12 aliens. So like, it, you know.
Yeah.
I thought I had heard it from the horse's mouth, she says. If people want to hear the story, let's get it right. She chronicled her family's experience in the books Alien Legacy, published in 2007, and 2015's The Kelly Green Men, Alien Legacy Revisited. In 2010, why
would she call it green men when they were silver?
So that was one of the things that ended up changing the story. But this story is actually where the green men started. This is the initial aliens are green small creatures with long arms. This is where that story started. So this is the urban legend that created the little green men. Yep.
Interesting.
And the silver were supposed to be the ships.
Okay.
In 2010, when Kelly's community organization started brainstorming themes to build a fundraiser event around, they delved into the area's past, hitting on Kelly Hopkinsville encounter as a significant moment in time. Thus, the Little Green Men Days Festival was born. Stith, an annual speaker at the events and similar conventions, says she's often approached by people who want to share their own stories of encounters. People tell me about things they have seen and they can't explain. She says, I think if this really did happen to these people, and I know it happened to my family, it's terrifying. There are millions of stars and planets in the universe. I can't possibly believe ours is the only planet with life, which now the government has confirmed.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You didn't know that?
Oh, is that whole alien thing?
The U.S.
Congress
government actually confirmed.
There was something else important that happened. That's kind of the conspiracy theory why they admitted to aliens existing. Because there was something, I don't know if that was like
I
when
know.
the war started or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was some kind of bill or something that was really important being passed. I mean, they do that all the time. But it was also one of those TikToks that'd be like, they came out, aliens exist. And we're like, yeah, we know. This isn't, we know.
Oh, yeah. Like all the TikToks of like people like the U.S. government, aliens, the U.S. people. And
what else do you got? Like, okay. This doesn't surprise us anymore.
Tell me something I don't know, but aliens. Okay, you said that. Next.
We're not shocked anymore. This isn't a thing. So she does bristle at the people who criticize her family and their actions that night. Some festival goers have expressed opinions that Lucky and Billy Ray shouldn't have shot at the creatures, or that, had it been them, they would have invited the little green men in. To this, Stith states, my dad was trying to protect them. They were country boys, and that's all they knew to do to get their guns. My family went through something, whether it be paranormal or extraterrestrial, that changed their lives forever. I just want people to realize the terror they went through that night.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. That's the story of the Little Green Men, the Hopkinsville Goblin case, or the Kelly Green Men case, whatever you want to call it. That is the urban legend that really kind of started a lot of the Green Men theory about aliens.
When did this story like come out?
1955.
Oh, interesting.
Right? But yeah.
Interesting.
So that's the story. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I thought it was really interesting. I do wonder just how many alien encounters people have experienced versus like haven't. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you hate to be judgmental and say none of them happened. But I also know that your mind can do things that something creepy could happen. Like, for example, with the fucking bee, I swear I felt something on my foot. Like, I felt something on my foot and my leg, but like,
oh my gosh, when you see a bug and then all of a sudden you feel thousands of them on your body.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so I know the bee was real, but the feeling wasn't. You know what I mean? So like, I wonder how much of it was actually real versus your body also, reacting.
You believe it. I'm gonna bring up the show again, The Dead File. Amy will sometimes run into extraterrestrials.
Ooh.
Like, so really? Like she can see them, but we can't.
Maybe we can watch that after this.
You want to start Dead File?
Yeah. Have you seen all of them?
No.
Okay, good.
There's newer season I haven't seen.
You have a date. All right, well, that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed the podcast, don't forget to follow, leave a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, hi, like and subscribe. Our subscribers keep getting bigger and I love it. We're almost at 70, guys. Let's get 70 by next week. We got this. Let's go.
Are we gonna announce it next week, or should we give them a heads up now?
We can give them a heads up now.
Just a heads up, because I am going to be moving. We will be taking a break. We don't know how long that break will be because I want to get settled in. We're moving into my in-laws. So there's going to be like a whole nother adjustment period that we're going to need. We're going on a break. We'll be back. We might do some improvements when we come back.
Yeah. We've been brainstorming.
Yeah, so we're gonna just take this time to kind of mentally reset, physically reset in a new location.
Yup.
2 more episodes, this episode and next episode, and then we'll be on a break for a little bit.
Yep.
So if you haven't watched our beginning episodes, you should definitely, now is the time to go back and watch us
start
our babies.
Were we both in different locations at that point? I think so. I think you were in your old apartment too.
Really?
I want to
maybe. Maybe so.
Guys, we were babies and we didn't know what we were doing. And it's really funny to kind of go back and watch those. Although
definitely the Siren Head episode. Definitely go watch that one though.
That one you can skip. Honestly.
No, don't skip that one.
We'll be back. I mean, we are a couple episodes ahead, so like I think we're like 3 or 4 episodes ahead.
You'll probably be getting this message as I'm moving.
Right. Exactly. So don't worry.
Very far ahead. But
and this is something we talked about where it was like, I do not want to stop this. I love doing the podcast. Like I think it's so much fun. I love editing it and I love doing it with you. So it's not something we ever want to like stop doing, but it's also something that I can notice that, you know, obviously you have a huge life change coming. I can kind of feel like not necessarily burned out with podcasts, but burned out with life stuff. So we're just going to take like a refresh, like you said. And we've already started thinking about like some restructure too. So it'll be good. All good things.
Yeah. You can also find us on Twitter. I guess you can find us on X/Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok with our username at TTATA Podcast, where in the bio of all of our social media is our link tree, which has our email if you have any questions, concerns. I lost the spiel. Topic ideas. Hit us up. Let us know.
It's also a great time to email us, guys, because during the break, we're going to be looking. If you have any topic ideas, we'll call you out. You know, if you want. If not, just put anonymous.
Or any suggestions. Are there any episodes you don't like? Like, do you
skip any? Like, you're just like, that doesn't interest me? Because that's something I kind of want to look at. Like, what interests you guys the most? Yeah. Which ones do you like? Oh, I could just put this to go to sleep because your voices are so soothing. Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. Next week, we're going to be doing conspiracy theories. And I got one for you.
Oh, I don't have one yet.
We're going to go out with a big bang.
A big bang?
And that's where I'm going to leave you.
You're probably going to need to tell me so I don't do it.
I will. I'll let you know. Okay. They don't get to know, but I'll let you know. That we're going to listen. Jesus Christ. We're going to leave you with this inspirational quote.
You must want to be a butterfly so badly you are willing to give up being a caterpillar. By Trina Paulus.
Ooh, so like you might have to give up like part of current to become what you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like that.
Especially if you have bad habits.
We all have bad habits. But yeah, thanks for listening again, guys.
Until next time. Bye.
Bye.